Hello and welcome to another episode of Working Dad Trader. Thank you very much for watching. Today I'm going to be talking about a company that is green and in the green sector and is going to be one hopefully for the future, so it ticks lots of boxes. The company is called Darling Ingredients, ticker symbol DAR. The company is already up 27% this year, the stock price. It's for the last 12 months, it's up 283%. It's been on a real tear. This company seems to have gone under the radar. No one's really talking about it. And I must admit, for openness, that I go on a lot of sort of chat groups to do with trading and read lots of articles of people's opinions on companies. And this is sort of stolen from some of those companies that they talk about. When I see companies, then I do my own research into them and have a look myself at whether I want to invest in them. I just don't take people's own opinions. And actually, I really do like this company. The company works in three sectors. It basically uses oils from restaurants, used oils, cooking oils that is, and lots of horrible sort of meat byproducts from slaughterhouses and supermarkets that are left over. They collect all this stuff up and reproduce this stuff and make it, instead of wasting it, they reuse it and make it into feed for animals, human and pet foods, ingredients. And their biggest sector, which is nearly 50% of where they make their business, is in biofuel diesel, which they make a lot of their money from. The company is got, I think, for the next at least 2-3 years, a really good future, as in they're increasing, they're building a second plant to go alongside their one to produce even more their biodiesel. People will argue, well, it's going to go electric, so why are people going to go to biodiesel? If you really think of it logically, it's probably going to be 10 years before we get into especially things like trucks and industrial equipment that use diesel. It could be at least 10 years before these companies start using complete electric vehicles. I mean, we're talking loads and loads and loads of vehicles that would have to be scrapped and then go straight into electric sort of lorries and people like that. So I think that's a way off. I think for the minute, biofuel does have a place as part of the switch to green and more renewable energies. It's a lot cleaner, and I think this is going to be an exciting company for the short term. I think for the next 5 years, I'm not saying I'm going to hold this company long term, but for 5 years, I think this company is going to expand, and that's why I'm saying that I personally bought some into this stock, and that's why I thought I would share it with you now. This is why I bought the company. Remember to help support my channel, then to give me a like. It really does help. And remember to subscribe, and you won't miss any more of my videos. Like I said before, I'm so grateful to the people that have already subscribed. And if you make yourself public on the subscription, then I will, like I say, get round to giving you all a personal thank you, because it really does mean a lot. So without further ado, let's go and look into the company. Okay. It is very important when looking at a company you want to invest in to actually go onto their website and have a sort of dig around, have a look around, see what their actual website, have a look on the investor pages, see where the company's going, see what the future, find out about sort of what they do. This is a promotional video I found, which I think is really interesting.
Our world is constantly changing. Global population growth, climate change, and increased life expectancy and wealth put pressure on our natural resources to provide us with food, feed, fuel, and general well-being. Circumstances that urge us more than ever to find viable ways to provide for our changing needs as well as those of future generations. That's where we come in. We are Darling Ingredients. We connect economic and ecological value to be truly sustainable. With roots dating back to 1882, we never stopped refining our original beliefs that made us become a global market leader. Today, we serve the agri-food industry and reduce food waste by collecting and repurposing animal-based co-products and other natural materials that would otherwise be discarded. We convert these into unique and versatile ingredients that fit a wide variety of market demands. By connecting global supply and demand, we contribute to a circular economy. To strengthen our promise for a better tomorrow, we work tirelessly on creating product applications for health, nutrients, and bioenergy, while optimizing our services to the food chain. It is this focus that helps close loops, and with it, supports the needs of our changing world. History proves we had smart sustainability as the key to solutions that sustain life. This is who we are. This is what we do. We are Darling Ingredients.
So you can see that the company has got a really great green footprint, and how they operate is really good on producing food, feed for animals, and obviously their biofuel, which is going to help the environment. So that's a really great promotional video. Looking on their website, you can see actually they're a really big company across the world. They have approximately 200 operating facilities across 5 continents, based obviously in Texas, where their main plants are and headquarters. But they're really good at picking up food waste and collecting and repurposing animal-based products and natural materials and turning that into lots of other stuff. They collect lots of used cooking oils from restaurants, and they collect lots of meat byproducts from slaughterhouses and supermarkets, and then they can use all that and body animal fats and turn these materials into so many things. 46% of their business comes from their biodiesel fuel business sector. With that, they're in partnership with a company called Diamond Green Diesel, which it's a 50-50 split. They've got a 50% stake in the business, and at current they are the largest renewable diesel manufacturer in North America, and I believe they're the second largest company in the world for biodiesel. Comparing biodiesel against just regular diesel, obviously it cuts emissions by 80% compared to obviously regular diesel, which is really great for the environment. 35% of their business comes from feed that they produce from the waste for animals, which goes out to farms for feeding livestock. They produce lots of really healthy protein foods and stuff to give to the animals, which is really, really healthy. They produce fertilizers that are eco-friendly as well, to put on crops. 19% of their business comes from their food sector, which is they produce stuff for human consumption, and another big thing is pet foods. They produce a lot of ingredients that go back into pet foods. A lot of sort of foods they produce ingredients to be used in human food. They also produce a lot of things to go into the health sector to do with tablets and pharmaceutical sort of stuff, sports sort of medicines to help with protein tablets and stuff for helping muscle recoveries and stuff. So they've got 3 really strong sectors. That's all on the increase, which is really, really good and really interesting. For Darling Ingredients, this is on Yahoo Finance. If we look at a 6-month chart on daily candles, we can see that the company stock price has been on a bit of a tear for quite a while. If you look at sort of 6 months ago, it was down at around $32, and now we currently stand at $73. It's been an upward trend for quite a while, but as you can see, it's been going up. It's been having pullbacks, going up, having pullbacks, going up, and we've just come into a pullback. I recently bought shares at around 70 and a bit, so quite near the bottom. So on the pullback, obviously now the momentum is starting to go back up, so that's what I'm looking for. It's sort of all-time highs was around the $79 mark. I can see it going past that easily within the next few months. So it's a company's stock price that's going up really well, so I'm really quite bullish on that. It's a sort of a company that's sort of gone under the radar as well. There's not been a great deal said about it. It's not, I guess, popular stock. If we look at the financials, I see this company definitely doing really well for at least 12 to 2 years, and that's why I've bought into the company. If you look at the financials on the income statement, total revenue has, over the last 4 years, not been a great deal of difference. Obviously in 2017 it was 3,662, it dropped about 3,333, and then up last year to 3,571. Gross profit has increased from 786 to 883, which is really good to see. We've also got net income. Net income was at 128, dropped to 101. Last year was 312 in net income, and it was 296, so just shy of what happened last year. But during that year, there's been a lot of how the pandemic hit the company, and there was a bit of obviously downtime with production on their feeds, especially their fuels, biofuel production. So that slowed slightly, so that's where we are on that. If we look at the balance sheet, on the balance sheet, the total cash pile, which I also like to look at, has obviously gone down slightly from 106. Well, the high was 107, and it went down to 72, and it's currently at about 81.6. They've been spending a lot of money reinvesting into the company, building a second biofuel plant on their current site. At the minute, they are, like I say, producing 290 million gallons of their biofuel diesel, with this second bigger production plant on the same site. That should expand total production to 690 million, so it's over doubling the production, which is fantastic. So it's a company that's reinvesting a lot of money into the business to help it grow, and it's with that amount of capacity which they believe they can fulfill. It's going to obviously generate a lot more money and profit. If we look at the debt situation, current debt, obviously 4 years ago it was only 16,143. It was high as 90.9, with obviously borrowing money to help pay for this construction of a new biofuel plant. I'm using a lot of money on that. It's dropped to 27.53, so they're getting their finances in order. The plant is due to be ready, they're saying, by the end of 2021. So then there'll be full increase in production, which is good to hear. And then we look at sort of long-term debt. Obviously it was 1698 and it's gone down to 148. So they're getting their finances. The debt is high, but they're putting that money back into the business to generate long-term more growth, which is good. But they're slowly working out and getting that down. And also what I like to look at is I like to put it up on Excel, and I just like to break it down into percentages to see what's been happening over the last 4 years. So if we look on Excel, which I've done, and we look at the total revenue column, the cost of revenue, which is the cost it's costing them to, or the costs that it costs them to make money before they generate any profit. As you can see, the cost has been as high as 79%, and over the last 4 years now it's down to 75%, which is a really good thing to see. You don't always see these type of things when you're just looking at the figures, but it's good to see that they're working hard to reduce the cost of revenue. The cost to the company is dropping from 79 to 75. If we move on to gross profit as a percentage, we can see, although they took more money in 2017 of total revenue, which was 3662 compared to 3571, the actual gross profit was 21%, and they've increased that to 25%. So it shows that the management and the company are streamlining costs and working really, really hard to get more money out of the business. We also look at total operating expenses. As you can see, there has been a slight increase in total operating expenses. They spent a lot of money, I believe, if I remember from the figures, on sort of advertising and marketing. So that's where that slight increase in cost has come from, of total operating expenses. But then if we break it down to the very last, which is net income, obviously 2017 we were on 128,468, and they've increased that to 296,819, where it was 4% right up to 8%, which is really good and going in the right direction. So from that you can sort of gauge that the company and the management are working really, really hard to obviously produce more money, and working really hard to try and keep their costs down and turn costs to a minimum. So to me that's really good, and you don't always see that from just looking at the figures. Sometimes I like just to put it into Excel and work out the percentages to see in numbers and percentages if it's going up or down, in what direction it's going in. Okay, so now if we have a little look at what some opinions are here on analysts on Yahoo Finance, just to get a rough gauge of where they think the company could be going. If we look on here in January, they were saying, out of 8 analysts were saying it's a 3 strong buy, 5 buy. Again, it's just opinions, so it's not set in stone. And then they were saying it's average price target of $83. It currently sits at 73. I think the average is way under. That's just my opinion. I mean, so the highest opinion was $95 a share for this company. I would personally agree with that. I think the shares will eventually get to 95, especially within the next 12 months, once the biofuel plant is fully open, the new plant as well, and the total production is up to 69 million gallons. I can see that really pushing sales growth and revenue, and I can see that definitely getting around the 90, 95, even $100 mark. That's just my opinion. Okay, well, I hope you found that interesting. Like I say, I'm quite bullish on this company, especially for the short-term perspective of the next 2 to 3 years. I can see this as a quick fix to getting rid of diesel, which is the most polluting out there in the world. So I think biodiesel can definitely play a massive part in that. So I'm really sort of quite good on that. And I can see this company doing really well. Like I say, I think the potential where the share price could go to $100. We don't know. It's just my opinion. But yeah, it's a really good company, and it's been on a tear lately, and no one's really talking about this company, which is maybe a good thing. Maybe eventually Wall Street will cotton on and then push the price up. Let's see. And again, thank you very much for watching. I really appreciate it. Remember to smash that like button, subscribe, and I hope to see you soon. Okay, take care.